light to come on in the corner. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I'm hoping that there we are. Now I'm live. Good morning, good morning. It is Thursday, the 22nd, is it, of April? I'm a bit lost, really. So we're three-quarters of the way through April now. We've got one more week left of April. How quickly is it going? It's going so fast. Spring is definitely here. Certainly in Florida, spring is definitely here. We've got all the blossoms out. It's beautiful. We've got the jacaranda flowers that are out there. We've got all sorts of stuff going on. It's very, very nice. And yes, what did I do this last weekend? I actually planted my my I always hesitate when I say this because in America they call it basil, but we in England, we just say basil. So I planted my basil, my rosemary, I planted my parsley, what else did I? Anyway, a few other things, and mint. I planted my mint as well. In England, probably here too, in different places, different states, when you put mint in the garden, mint is like a weed and it just grows massively. It just takes over everything. So I always suggest to people, here's a little tip for you. You didn't really expect a tip, did you? This is a gardening tip, everybody. See, I'm so full of useless information. But if you're going to plant mint, which in England we use mint a lot, then sort of get a nice big pot, a flower pot, and put in the mint, and then dig a hole in the ground, in your border or wherever it is. The pot keeps the mint from going crazy and acting like a weed all over the place, and it's great. So I used to just dig mine in a pot and bury it. Now I have sort of like a flagged terrace area, and I keep all my herbs right outside my kitchen window. So when I need something, I just go out and pinch a bit off and so on and so forth, and there it is. But I can't wait for my basil to grow a bit more, because I think most of you will know, that most of you who know me will know that it's time for pesto. Yes. So I should be making some fresh pesto and doing all those sorts of things. So good morning, everybody. Good morning to my spirit guide, Gregor, who is standing to my right side. As always, good morning, Chris in Vermont.
Good morning, Rosemary. Good morning, everyone.
How do you like my little gardening tips, Chris?
Well, I like your pesto, so you keep going at it.
Yeah. And what do we use mint for? Somebody asked me that the other day. Well, we always put a sprig in our new potatoes in the springtime. It's almost time for new potatoes. Everybody in England knows what I'm talking about. Everyone in the UK knows what I'm talking about. We use mint, of course, in mint juleps. A nice drink, nice refreshing drink. My daughter likes mojitos, so we use mint in that as well. But mint is just one of those herbs, I think, that people don't get the most out of, and it's a fantastic. I always put some in my potato salad. It sort of makes everything pop. So if you're out there wondering what to do this weekend, why don't you sort of go check out your local gardening store or whatever, and get some herbs going, as we say in England. We say herbs in England. In France they say herbs, and in America they take the H off for some reason or another. In America people say herbs. We just say it as it is, don't we Brits? Herbs. We grow herbs. So there you are. Chris, what did you do this last weekend?
Oh gosh, I have no idea, Rosemary.
You don't know?
I was doing a lot of the things, trying to get ready for May, your special celebrations in May. And
Coming up.
yeah,
There's only one more week left until it's May, right? And then on May the 8th, we've got we're going to be giving messages from the spirit world. So we have a a fantastic webinar planned for May the 8th, and we're going to be giving messages and I'm not sure what are we calling it, talking to the dead. I hate that phrase, but people understand when you
Messages.
say
You're calling it
messages from the
Messages
spirit
from the
world, is it?
Spirit World, and it's on Eventbrite.
So there you are. So if you want to know more about that, because that's on May the 8th, that's in 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, I didn't get to be 2 weeks, Chris. That's in 2 weeks' time. And if you go to the website, rosemaryaltea.com, you can see how you can get tickets for that. And then on May the 22nd, we've got a super fabulous and amazing event. Grey Eagle Speaks, and wow, that's going to be just an amazing thing. I'm really looking forward to that. Direct voice. Most people have never experienced it. But anyway, you can get to experience that on the 22nd. And in a week's time, so in a week's time, Chris, we're going to be very busy, right? Because we're planning doing all sorts of things. We're going to have Motivational Monday. So you'll see me on Facebook or Twitter or wherever. You'll see me all over the place. So we're going to be doing Motivational Monday. If you want to ask a question, or if you want to be involved in our Motivational Monday, if you have an issue, if you have something that you'd love to achieve but you for some reason can't, or if you feel stuck in one place and you need someone to help you to be motivated, just email us in the subject line Motivational Monday, and we'll take that into consideration. We'll take your emails into consideration, and you never know, you might just get a message directly from me because of your email. So just tell us what it is that you're struggling with, tell us the problem or the issue or what have you, and I'll see if I can help you to move it along, or give you some hints or some tips or some little bit of advice or guidance as to how you can motivate yourself and move forward with things. So Motivational Monday, on Wednesdays we're going to be doing our Healing Wednesday. So I'm going to be giving healing. I'm going to be showing you how to develop your energy, how to create that fantastic healing bubble that we use. We're going to be using color energy, and I'm going to be showing you on Wednesdays how you can do that and how you can give healing both to yourself and also how you can give healing to others. So that's on Wednesday. And then, of course, in between all of that, I should be popping up every now and again. So you have to watch for me. You have to sort of keep one eye open, because we're not going to let you know. We're just going to be popping in and out of your lives all the way through the month of May. Sometimes you'll find me in my kitchen cooking. I've got one or two ideas for cooking that I might share with you. And let me see what else. Well, you might find me walking on the beach, or you could find me in a mall looking for something, new pair of shoes maybe. I do need a new pair of casual beach shoes, and I have been looking, but I might wait until May. After all, May is my birthday also. So we might wait until May, and I'll take you shopping with me. Would you like to come shopping with me? Anyway, we should be popping in and out all the way through the month of May with some fun stuff, with some kitchen stuff, with some inspirational stuff, and maybe one or two stories. So you never know when you're going to be able to find me. Of course, when we pop in and out, you will, if you miss me, be able to catch me, right, Chris? Because we should be recording these things, and you'll be able to catch me. So you can either go to YouTube or Facebook or something like that, and you'll be able to rerun or replay what we're doing, I think. Is that right,
Yes,
Chris? Am I accurate?
absolutely.
Okay. So, gosh, is that all the news? That's it. So see
Well,
ya,
no,
everybody.
this is the last week for people to send in their artwork that will be posted on Rosemary's header on Facebook. So get those pictures, or what am I going to say? The files sent into email at the office, Chris, Kris, at rosemaryaltea.com.
Yeah. So we want to see your artwork. We want to see what you're creating. I'm going to be asking my grandson also to put some stuff in there, because he loves drawing. And the little girl that we had on the other day, we've already got some stuff from her, I do believe, Chris. I've seen one or two things that she sent in. So I'm excited to see what people can, share with us. And even if you can't draw very well, it doesn't matter to us. Just having it there and being able to put it up and say to people, look what we have, look what somebody sent in to us. If you want us to use your full name, we will, but you need to let us know, because otherwise we won't. We'll just use your first name. You could be anybody on the planet. But if you want us to use your full name, or you want to give us information as to where people can find more of your artwork, we're happy to do that too. So, let's get going, everybody. Let's get going. All right, Chris. So, do we have it? Wait. Sorry, the famous. Is there anybody there, Chris? Is there anybody there?
I think there are people here from all over the planet. We've got Junior in Glasgow,
Hi,
Fernanda,
Junior.
uh, Vi from Italy.
Where's
Uh,
Fernando from?
Fernanda didn't say anything,
Fernando.
and I forget. She's on quite a bit.
Okay.
So sorry, I don't remember. Agnes is on from the Netherlands. We've got Cheryl and Maggie. Joanne's on from Australia. Tammy's on from Englewood, Florida.
Oh, that's just down Tammy, that's just down the road from me.
There you go. And then Chris is on from Ontario, saying it's cold and snowing here. It's too early for gardening.
Oh, well, you can always start them off inside, I do forget, but I know, Chris, I spoke with you yesterday, and you told me that in Burlington, Vermont, in fact, you showed me all the snow. And did you have a snowstorm last night or this morning?
We did, and it's still going today.
Oh my gosh. See, I forget. I forget. Because here in Florida, and after all, it is April. I'm pretty certain that in the UK you're starting to see spring flowers. I'm pretty certain that the daffodils are coming out, the snowdrops perhaps have already been out. I'm pretty certain that that in the UK spring has come or is coming. Junior, maybe you'd let us know about that, because you're in Scotland, so you're a bit north, but still spring should be there, or if not, at least around the corner. Samantha's birthday, my daughter's birthday, is April 7th, and that was always a signal for me to take her out of winter clothes and into summer clothes. So is it colder longer these days? I don't know. I mean, what happened to global warming? um, Obviously, that's not happening, certainly not in Vermont, and certainly not in Ontario. So, but here, as I've said, it's glorious, it's beautiful, and the blossoms are starting to come out. The jacaranda is starting to come out. It's just glorious here. Sorry if I'm upsetting everybody by that. We would love to know, if you're writing into us, if you have a question or just a comment, we would love to know where you're from, because it's very exciting when we see Singapore, Japan, let me see, China, Germany, Austria, Australia. It's amazing. We sort of, because we love all this sort of multinational stuff. We love to, I love the idea that I'm connecting with people just all over the world, and it just is amazing to me that you all come and you enjoy with me, and you interact with me. I just love that idea. Chris.
Well, it also helps the visual for healing hands around the world, because truly
Yes.
people are learning from you and putting that into practice, so that
Yes.
things are so much better.
That's so true.
Tammy from Englewood said it was an honor to meet you when you were here in Florida doing the mystery train ride. You changed my life.
Oh, are you one of the young ladies who sat on the bench with me? I can't remember if it was after the mystery train ride or during the mystery train ride. Tammy, come on, you have to let me know, and tell us, Tammy. That there is this train ride that you can take. It's called the Mystery Train Ride. You can take it here in Florida, and I think it goes out of Sarasota. And I met a couple of lovely girls. Tammy, are you one of those girls? We sat on the bench and we talked and so on. But the train is supposed to be haunted, but nobody knows whether or not it is. Oh, well, maybe somebody knows. Maybe I know. Maybe I know whether it's haunted or not. And it's supposed to be, because it's a very famous train also. So it's supposed to be haunted. And but the people who own the train company don't really want anybody to sort of go and investigate, people like me, I suppose. But I actually went on this mystery train ride because it was a dinner and a theatre, and it was so fabulous. We had such a great time. But afterwards, my friend and I, we sat uh, uh, on the train station on a bench talking to two lovely, lovely girls. Tammy, are you one of those lovely girls? Because I'd love to know. And how, Tammy, how did we change your life? Can you let us know? Preferably now, we'd love to hear from you. Right, Chris, we do want to know how we change people's lives, because I will say this to you. This week, I'm not going to tell you too much detail, but this week I had a lady who came to see me, and she was with somebody else, and she said to me, as she walked in the door, she said, "Do you remember me?" And I'd apparently spoken to her using Zoom or something like that on a couple of occasions in the last 2 years. Unfortunately, people tend to remember me. I suppose I'm that unforgettable, weird person. They tend to remember me, but unfortunately, I see so many people and I connect with so many people in different situations that it's not often that I remember the person. I might remember the story. I might remember, uh, meeting someone who had lost a child, and this and this and this happened, and I can remember the story, but it's rare that I could put that story to a person's face. So unfortunately, I had to say to her, actually, I don't remember you. So she actually recounted the things that I'd actually said to her over the last couple of years, and saying to me, "And you were so right, and you were absolutely accurate, and you were so right." And I'm thinking, well, I'm thrilled, but at the same time, there was no memory. So when you write in and you say these things, and this lovely girl who's saying she's from Englewood, Tammy, come on. I remember sitting with some people on a bench. Would I know you if it came upon you in the street? Absolutely, I would not know you, I'm afraid. So people remember me, and I'm often referred around the world. I'm often referred to as, that woman who talks to dead people. That English woman that I can't remember her name, but that woman. And for years and years and years, I was known as that woman throughout the world. Maybe I still am. But we love to know where you're from, and we love to hear your stories. We love you to share, because it's not a question of sort of making me feel good, although it does. But when you have an experience with me or with somebody like me, and it is a good experience, and you've been thrilled by that experience, or as in Tammy's words, you changed my life, everybody who's listening wants to know, oh, how? What happened? Why? Because your story, I know it's your story, but if you would be willing to share it with us, it inspires so many people. It inspires the rest of us, and it really makes us realize, and especially for those who have not had that experience with me, it really does help people to understand what they can expect when they come to see a spiritual medium. It helps them to sort of give them the understanding and the confirmation that there is really really the spirit world really does see all, and there really is a spirit world, and they really are around us. And so I've had a very busy week this week, one way or another. Anyway, before I go further, I would like to just mention Alexander. I'm not going to mention his last names because there are too many of them actually, but Alexander is just a few hours old. He is beautiful, 7 pounds and some ounces, I've forgotten. He's an absolutely beautiful newborn little boy, and coming into this world in the early hours of the morning. In the UK, in England, my darling Jessie, congratulations to you, Kay, my darling Kay, yeah, grandmother again, and to Jess and to John. Oh, good job, well done, you guys. I'm absolutely thrilled, and I actually got to see the baby this morning, so that was nice too. Chris, how are we doing there?
Oh, we're great here, Rosemary. Tammy is getting back to you.
Good.
So Tammy mentions Fort Myers. I'm not sure the
Oh,
context of that.
well,
Um,
I said Sarasota, I think, and she's reminding me it was actually out of the train came out of Fort Myers, so that's what she means by that.
okay. She says, "You gave me a message I needed so bad. My
Oh,
mom was with me there that night through you. I can't believe you remember me. Your message saved my life. I lo- I was lost, losing my mom, and was in a very dark place. Her message was to please take care of myself and do not hurt myself. I was my mom's healthcare surrogate and I made her a DNR. I have never forgotten you. You saved me. I speak about you often to people."
well, Tammy, thank you so much for sharing that. So we sat on this park bench. I think there were two young ladies. You must have been one of them, and their mother apparently. I wish I could remember these things, but I don't remember that. But I do remember sitting on this little wooden bench with you guys, and talking to you. I do remember talking about the work that I did. I do not remember giving you a message from your mother, so thank you for reminding me of that. It doesn't surprise me because I have to tell you, you can't take me anywhere. Is that true, Chris? You you can't take me into a restaurant because I might just be giving someone at the next table a message. You can't take me into a store because somehow or another, if a conversation comes to me and somebody in the spirit world nudges me, I feel myself being compelled or drawn towards saying something to somebody. I have to hold off on doing it because it's, not everybody wants it. But oh, the amount of times I've been to Bonefish Grill right here in Venice and given so many messages to the waiters, to the waitresses. I can remember one waitress standing crying at the table with a pad in her hand saying, "And what else do you want?"
I remember that too.
As I talked to her mother, I think it was, and or her, no, it was her brother, I think, and sitting at a table with four lovely ladies who seemed to have disappeared on me. I was keeping in touch with one of them, but I'm terrible about keeping in touch. But if you're listening to this, call me. But and and giving messages to a whole table, a whole group of women who were there for a girls' night out. And then every time I went in after that, if they were there, they'd shout at me, shout from the, "Hey, come and sit with us!" And as much as it's fun to do it, sometimes you just want want to be with your own friends in your own company. But they were great ladies. So I mean, Chris, you've been with me, haven't you? And we've been in fast food places. We've been
Oh yeah,
everywhere. And
McDonald's in a rest area. Oh, you really
yes,
shook that couple up.
I don't
Um,
remember that. You
in a
see,
good
Chris
way.
remembers. I don't remember, but Chris remembers these things. So yeah, we've been. We. I'm afraid I'm uncontrollable. I'm that woman. I'd love to have your comments on that comment. Chris, keep going now.
Well, Tammy said you said my mom meant for us to be there. We cried, laughed, and it was one of the best nights of my life.
Oh, Oh, Tammy, thank you for sharing that. And I'm only down the road, you know. See, I'm just down the road. Uh,
She said she'd love to run into you again.
I'm always up for a walk on the beach or, a sandwich somewhere. I'm always up for something like that. So, hey, the invitation is right there for you. All right, Chris.
Well, I'm going to throw in one more kudo, but before I do, I want to say I am collecting testimonials for anyone who has had experiences with Rosemary because I would
Oh,
like to share them on her social media and her webpage. So if you are willing to give us a short, succinct testimonial, because that's the format that needs to go into the website, please send it to chris@rosemaryaltea.com.
and that's Chris, Kris.
Yes. Thank my mom for that. Shaz is on. She says, my dad and I had a consultation with Rosemary on the 20th of April. She
Hi,
connected
darling.
with my mom and grandpa and was incredibly accurate and detailed. She has given us so much relief, and we will be forever grateful.
Well, I know your real name. I'm not going to use it, but thank you so much for that. I've thought about you. Often it's only been a couple of days, but I have thought about you, and I think you're. Are you calling still from Singapore? Because I know I connected with you in Singapore, and it was great. I think the clarity of Zoom is quite amazing, actually, and it's almost like you're in the same room with each other. So, I do hope that whenever I give consultations, whenever I give a consultation to somebody, of course, I want the very best. But Shaz, I'll call you Shaz, your mother was an amazing communicator. Boy, she was there like that. She wouldn't let me she wouldn't, she kept interrupting me as I'm telling you what I'm going to try to do for you. And I love that. And I love it when the spirit world is so determined and they are so, sort of talkative, and they know exactly what they're going to say. They know exactly what they want to do. And that was your mother. Your grandfather was also determined to get in there, despite the fact that your mother she wanted to do the whole thing. But I was pleased to see that your grandfather also had some things to say too. And I have to tell you, I enjoy myself just as much as everybody else. Is enjoy the right word? Shaz, reply to me on that one. Is it enjoy the right word? Chris.
All right. Well, while we're waiting for that response, um, so you have lots of hellos from so many people. I'm going to try to just get to the question since this is all about how much time we have here.
I do just want to say hello to everybody, and I so appreciate that you join me on our shows. Chris, go for it.
All right. Mark is on. He says, I'm unsure what this was. 2 days ago, it was near midnight and I was shutting down the home for the night. And as I walked out of my kitchen hall to go down to my bedroom, something frightened my fur son, Gage. He jumped off my bed and he came down the hall to greet me. Mind you, total darkness. I said to him, let's go. And as I turned to go down the hall, I swear I saw a dark shadow, and instantly I got the goosies. As I turned into my bedroom, I looked down the hall and said, hello? And I went to sleep. Can Gray Eagle tell you what or who this was?
Well, obviously, just someone coming to help you to shut the house down. I don't think for 1 second it was anything that was harmful. I think you know that. And it's probably your loved ones in the spirit world who are just letting you know, hey, we're here. And Mark, look, don't be surprised when you catch glimpses. You are learning to become more sensitive. You are learning to become more aware. And so this is the result of that. So I'm really pleased that you said hello, but did you listen? It's all very well, you know we we speak out. If it's you, give me a sign. If it's you, show me this, show me that. but then we have to listen as well. So you have to listen for any kind of response. And sometimes that response will come in the way of, you might hear a voice or you might hear a noise of some kind. But sometimes that response will come from your senses, from, from your sense of hearing, your sense of sight, but also from your sense of being, of your sense of knowing, just this having this sense of something that's around you. So next time, it's great to call out, and I'm glad that you did, but you have to listen to Chris.
All right. So just to respond from Shaz, enjoy is the right word. We had a ball. We truly did. You can call me by my real name as well.
Oh, thank you, darling. All right, keep going, Chris.
All right. Let me scroll back up here. So, just to continue, a few more places people are from. We know Sharon's from Singapore, Mary's from Germany, Serena's from San Diego,
Wow.
Fernanda's from London, Kasenija is from Melbourne, Australia.
Gosh, we've got a whole cross section here going on. Brilliant.
I know. Don't you wish we could just like hop on our own private plane and just hop into each of these places and say hello?
Yeah, but I'm open to invitations too. Are you open to invitations, Chris?
Absolutely.
I'm open to invitations, everybody. I know it's COVID, but the people are still traveling all over the world. I mean, it's not, travel hasn't totally shut down here, but and I'm open to traveling. So, so anyone who wants to invite me, we certainly will consider it, won't we, Chris?
We definitely will. All right. So here's another question. Cheryl's on. Is it really
Morning, Cheryl.
necessary to be baptized? I am not and have been told I can't be in heaven.
Well, I don't know who told you that, because that's just a nonsense. It is absolutely. It must have been somebody who is a Christian, but not maybe practicing, or maybe just totally believing. I don't know, in the fact that most of the world. Let me just be clear: 2/3 of the world never grew up with Christ, never knew Christ, never knew about baptism, never heard the stories. Are they going to be condemned to wherever it is if you don't go to heaven? Do people really think that because you never heard of someone that, therefore you are condemned to hell or to purgatory or whatever it is? It's just simply a nonsense. And we need to get over that fact. Now, it happens that I am baptized, and maybe I'll tell you all how that happened at some point in the future. And I am a Christian, but I have met Christians who, the idea of being a Christian is being a good person, gentle person, a kind person. I've met Christians who are none of those things. Just because they've been baptized, does that mean that God will welcome them in, and they won't have to face who they are? Of course it doesn't. But I have met so many people around the world who've never even heard of Christ or never brought up with Christ, who are wonderful, wonderful, loving, caring people. It does not matter what religion you are. I had in fact, I'm not allowed to say, I almost said who it was, and I'm not allowed to say, but I did have a lady, I was talking to a lady in the spirit world today, the other day, who actually was saying that she was investigating, she was searching and learning about lots of theology, lots of different religious beliefs. There are many there are many, what is it? There are many rooms in God's mansion. There is room for every religion. Religion is the most misused word anyway. I mean, it means different things to different people. So there are many faiths, there are many creeds, there are many beliefs, many belief systems. If you want to be with God, then God opens his arms and allows you in, and that's the end of it. And nobody on this earth can tell you it's not going to happen. I can absolutely tell you that. I'm getting riled up here, aren't I? It really makes me cross. It so makes me cross. And somebody has a belief, and they're just such know-it-alls. And I had a patient years ago who was dying of cancer, and within, I think, the day before she actually died, and we all knew that she was about to go, her wonderful minister came in and said to her, well, if you don't, denounce Rosemary, because I've been her healer for quite a long time. If you don't denounce Rosemary, and if you don't denounce the spirit world, and if you don't denounce all of this, that, and the other, you won't get into heaven, The day before she died, that's a whole story in itself. But how disgusting is that man to do that to someone on that the very edge of her passing? And he was wrong. He was so wrong. Why do people do that? Are they doing it to frighten you? Are they doing it to get their own way? Are they doing it to control? Are they doing it because they want you to turn to them? I mean, good gracious, Sorry, I shall stop now. Sorry.
It's nice to know we've got you looking out for us to steer us in the right direction, Rosemary. Don't be sorry.
But it's so awful, especially when people are vulnerable, to hear these things, and especially when they need to have someone sit and hold their hands and say, God loves you, and if you want to go to God, I'm sure He's going to welcome you in. Why do people have to do all that awful damage in moments when people are so vulnerable? So we're not going to do any more of that. Yes, you don't have to be wait a minute. No, you don't have to be baptized to get into heaven. You don't have to be baptized to get to God. Oh, there are people out there sort of crossing themselves right now, but I don't care, because it's absolutely the truth. I've seen it, I've experienced it. My darling, don't you worry a bit. You don't have to be baptized. Chris,
All
I'm
right.
not saying another word about it.
Okay, well, that's good, because we have lots of questions.
Good. Okay.
Rosa wants to let you know she's on. She's watching you as she works in the laundry room at the long-term care facility she's at.
Hi, darling.
Dean says it's 44 degrees already in Wisconsin. That's warm. That's spring.
Is it? Okay.
And
Thanks,
Junior,
Dean.
who said he was from Glasgow, says spring is here and it's warm.
Yay! Yay! Yeah.
All
There's
right.
nothing more beautiful than the heather in Scotland at this time of year. Let me tell you that. Chris, go on.
Betta says, Dear Rosemary, I have changed with the pandemic. I have become more spiritual and less materialistic. Do you
Wow,
think this
good.
change will last, or is it just a moment that I'm living? Does Grey Eagle have any advice for me?
Darling, Betta, it's your choice. It's like I had a patient once, and he was a smoker, and he's really, his diet was dreadful, and he escaped. He got over it. His surgery was absolutely successful, and he said he would never smoke again, and he would never eat greasy food again, and so on. But then you become complacent. And a couple of years later, unfortunately, he because he'd gone right back to where he was, he had serious heart trouble, and he ended up dying of a heart attack. So he escaped the cancer but killed himself with a lousy diet, and he knew he was doing it, but hey, he thought he was invincible because he'd escaped the cancer. It's your choice, Betta. Whatever it is you want to do, you will do it. And Grey Eagle says, just if it's working for you and you're happier because of the way that you're living right now, you should keep it up. But it's your choice at the end of the day.
Sheila Ann says, are you taking any questions today? Luckily, we've come to that portion of your show.
Oh, yes. Go ahead. Give me a question. Yes, I'm sorry. Am I talking too much, everybody?
Asking if my friend Roman, who took his life. We were going to get married. He had bipolar to know if he has a message for me. Is he at peace?
Um, as I'm listening to this, Grey Eagle has put his hand on my shoulder. And I'm trying not to give you just the glib answer that that would come, because I could easily say to you, I'm sure that he's fine, but I'm just checking with Grey Eagle, who says to tell you, you mustn't worry. He has issues. He had lots of issues prior to. Yes, I can. Yeah, I can. I'm just catching glimpses of someone here who is sending lots of love, and I'm fine. I'm hearing, and I'm fine. So Grey Eagle has put his hand on my shoulder, is telling me that that is the confirmation that you're looking for. I'm sorry it's such a short answer, but I think that that's the confirmation you're looking for. And he's, Grey Eagle is telling me he's getting help with his issues. So you mustn't worry too much about this lovely, lovely, lovely person in your life who is still in your life. Chris.
Art DeRock says, Rosemary, do you know people who have the same abilities like you? And for what do I have to look for when someone does what you do? What is it called? What it that you're able to do?
Oh golly. Well, I'm a spiritual medium and a healer. I give consultations. I don't just give messages, although I do. But when you come to see somebody like myself, they should be talking about first of all, they should be connecting with your loved ones in the spirit world. They should be able to help you with your issues. They should be able to give you information about things that they couldn't possibly have known about. You need to be skeptical but open-minded. Don't, as happened the other day, I started the consultation, and Shaz will know. Her father started to tell me something. I put up my hand and said, "No, no, 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 no. I'm not ready for that yet. I don't want you to tell me. I need to tell you." And so as much as at some point you'll know if this person is real or not, because they'll tell you things that are accurate, that you can't deny. They'll tell you things that are, that will open your eyes, and you'll be saying, wow, really? Wow. And how did you know that? How could she possibly know that? You need to pay attention that you don't tell them all about yourself. You don't tell them really much about yourself. And what I do in my consults is I always say to people, have 10 questions ready, and people give me their questions, and then as they're giving me their questions, I'm looking to see if there's anyone in the spirit world who's going to talk to us. And if I find someone, which I mostly do, then I'm able to help with the questions that have been asked by my clients, and more besides. So, be skeptical, be open-minded, but do be skeptical. And if you find that someone is just giving you fluff instead of details, because I do try to give real detail here. That's the difference between having a what they call a reading with someone who's just going to sort of often pull stuff out of the air, or I feel this, or I sense that. I don't do that at all. You don't want someone who will do that. You want someone who's going to say, I've got somebody here, they tell me how they died, they're explaining to me how you're living and what you're doing. Yes, you ask, and they can answer the questions with detail. And again, this is why, for all of you listening, you've had that experience with me. It is important that if you don't mind sharing, it is important to share your experience, because somebody like this person who's asking this question, you don't know what to look for. And when you give testimonials, or when you share your stories, then it helps other people to know what they're supposed to be looking for. So just be very careful. And if you feel that someone is not giving you what you're looking for, what I do is I tell people right up front, if this isn't working, you can have your money back, like that, because they're not paying me for their time for my time. They're paying me for the content and for what is going on here. Um, or I say, or we can try again, but there'll be no charge trying again. So don't be afraid to ask for your money back if you don't get, or you feel that you're not getting success, or you feel that this isn't really real. So be critical, open minded. Don't be afraid to be critical, because a good person, a real person, will tell you that that's exactly what you should be. Chris.
Well, and that's what your whole May 8th event is about. You're going to be giving messages from the spirit world to some of the
Yes.
people that show up. And there's a few tickets left. And I would also say to anyone who's listening, can you help me get the word out about this event? I want to do right by Rosemary. Share the event with everybody you know on your Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, wherever you share. That would be really helpful to me because I'm a one-person office. I could really use your help.
Actually, just let me tell you, everybody, she's a one person office, but my goodness, what she does is just unbelievable. It's like there are three people in that office. Just saying, Chris.
Thank you. Agnes is saying in the Kuchenhof, the tulips and the daffodils are blooming, and it's only open for a few people this year. I've been there once. That place is gorgeous.
Yeah, I've been to Holland a few times, of course, and if you drive around, I mean, you go outside of the city areas. I mean, you literally will see fields and fields and fields of tulips and all kinds of different bulbs and different colours, and it is a spectacular sight. The food there is also pretty brilliant too. It's that I've had some of the best fish in Holland. I know, can you believe it? But maybe it's just the restaurants I've been to, but I've had some of the best fish dishes I've ever had. Um, the best fish that I think, ever have had in my memory was sitting by the River Nile. I think that did help. And being presented with an enormous fish on a plate, huge fish on a plate. And as my friend and I were about to dive into it, because it's so spectacular, this enormous, and I mean a giant ant, I mean a real giant ant, sort of crawled out from underneath it and crawled on the
Oh,
top of it, started crawling across the top of it. And we had two choices, didn't we? We could really be put off the fish, or actually we could go like that and flick the ant off, which is what I chose to do, because there's no way I was not going to eat that fish. It was delicious. Keep going, Chris.
Fernandez says today in London we have a lovely sunshine. Rosemary, are you planning to have any events in the UK?
When they let me in, I have a couple of friends in the UK, Craig and Violet, and we actually were just about to create some events last year, and COVID came and hit us square in the eye, and so I was not able to go to England as we had planned. However, once the bans are lifted, and as soon as I get my shots, which I'm going to have, because I don't think you'll be able to travel without them. So we're going to see what we can plan. Hopefully, once the bans are lifted, I shall be coming to England, and we shall be having some events. God willing, Craig and Violet are still going to be helping me. I'm laughing because I'm keeping my fingers crossed that either they're listening or they will be listening, and they're going to be helping me to organise some events. So yes, I think yes. So keep checking. I keep saying to people, if you want to know more about us, you can do one of two things. You can just keep checking the website, which is rosemaryaltea.com. Or better still, if you subscribe, go to the website and click subscribe. That just gives us your email address. Now, I promise you we will not inundate you with emails. We might send 2 or 3 a month, something like that. But we do send out a newsletter to all our subscribers. We send out a newsletter, and in that newsletter we say what's going on. So if you're a subscriber and you take our newsletter, you'll be ahead of the game, because you'll be able to, sort of get in there before anybody else does. So, that's an option for you. Chris.
Rosa says, thanks to you and Gray Eagle and my husband. I'm getting stronger mentally and financially. Slowly, I am learning and will get there. You are amazing.
Oh, Rosa, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And love to the kids as well. Keep going, Chris.
Okay, let me scroll down a bit here because we've already covered some of this. Mary says, in a couple of months, I'm scheduled to get weight loss surgery. Is there any advice from Gray Eagle or my loved ones in the spirit world with how to cope with the weight loss journey?
Okay, if you would like to, Mary, send us in your name. We'll definitely put you on our healing list. If you're on our healing list, we send you healing every day. If you then let us know, the date that you're going in, I will be sending you healing. Uh, my team and I will be sending you healing, but I will personally be sending you some healing so that you can sort of, get over that hurdle. Make sure that you've got a good dietitian. Make sure that you have people who can help you. And just and be strong, my darling. You can do this. I know that people have a lot of difficulty with weight, with all sorts of things. Mary, you might want to join in our motivational Mondays, because maybe I can give you some little tips. And Chris, you know that I give little tips, don't you, on weight loss?
Hey, hey, hey.
I just said, just
Where
I'm
would I
not.
be without you?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Some of those are really good tips. So, if you have that issue and you want us to address it on one of our motivational Mondays, I'd be very glad to do that. Keep going, Chris.
Wanda says, good morning from Montana. It has been a
Good
while
morning.
since I have caught you live. Good to be here. Uh,
Well,
Go ahead.
I wonder what it's like in Montana. I've never been to Montana, but
Big
it's
sky
sort of,
country.
yeah, I know, I've heard, and the mountains and all of that, and I've always wanted to go. And although I'm not a horse person, I always imagine Montana and horses riding it. Of course, I probably got it all wrong. Uh, I mean, I don't mind wearing the cowboy hat and everything. I just don't particularly want to get on a horse, but I do like to see horse riding. So I bet it's beautiful there, and coming into a really beautiful time of year too. Chris,
Tammy says, yes, let's do lunch very soon. Wendy,
yay!
Wendy up in the panhandle saying, good morning.
Is that our
Serena,
Wendy?
that is our Wendy.
How you doing with the how you doing with the pesto, Wendy?
And then
Yeah.
Serena loved Cheryl's question about being baptized. Uh,
Oh, good. I hope you like my answer too.
yeah, well, she said, I sometimes feel guilty for not baptizing my two children.
Well, if it's helpful to you, I was baptized, but I was baptized when I was 15, and it was my choice. And my family were not involved in it at all. I don't think they even came to see me baptized. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. But when my daughter was born, um, we did have, it was called a blessing. So she was not baptized. I think that baptism is something that, perhaps, and I know different people have different beliefs, but I believe, especially because of my own experience, that we should wait until our children are older and then they can decide or not whether they want to be baptized. It's their choice. Doesn't make any difference whether they're going to get into heaven or not, let me tell you, just reiterating that. But I had my daughter blessed because the church that I connected with, where she was born, did not have baptisms. But she was blessed, and so we had what was called a christening, although perhaps in some churches it wouldn't be called a christening. But we had sort of a lovely service. She was blessed by the minister, and we had a great party. And everybody came to the party, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful time. So, in fact, my daughter has not been baptized. My grandson has not been baptized. I know perfectly well that there's, if you want to be with God, that's just where you'll be, and God's arms will be open to you no matter what. I do not believe in a judging or a judgmental God. I think that when we pass into the spirit world, I think we are our own judges. Um, and that's tough, let me tell you. Keep going, Chris.
Art DeRock commented, "You are invited to Germany, Cologne, and I can offer you a hotel room, food, and sightseeing, but you have to pay for the tickets."
Oh, well, don't, just, well, Germany's not far from England. Maybe I could sort of hop from England to Germany. What do you think to that? If ever things are lifted, let Chris know the details. That sounds great. The food sounds good. Please don't give me the pickled cabbage because I don't want it. Sauerkraut because I don't like it. Sorry. But other than that, thank you for that invitation. Keep going, Chris. We love this.
Maggie says, "I truly believe that Rosemary. Oh, I truly believe that, Rosemary. I've always said God comes to one the way you will understand and listen to the lessons. Each religion and culture are very similar in their beliefs."
I think so too. And thanks. I think this is my darling Maggie talking here. So thanks, Maggie.
She says, "Funny, when I'm by myself and I smell smoke, I say, 'Hi, Mom.'"
Good. I'm glad.
Sue says, "Hello, could I have a reading, please?"
You can't have a reading, but you can have a consultation if you'd like one, Sue. I know I'm being pedantic now, aren't I? I'm being difficult. If anyone out there would like a consultation with me, you need to email the office, rosemary@rosemaryaltea.com, if that's easy to remember, or Chris, Kris, at rosemaryaltea.com. And you simply ask for a consultation. If you ask for a reading, Chris will know exactly what you mean. If you just say, I want to talk to Rosemary, she'll know what you mean. So, don't worry about how you put it, but you need to put those requests through to the office. And as you will have heard earlier on, yes, I talk to people all over the world. Tuesday it was Singapore. Wednesday it was Maine. Where else have we been over over the last few weeks? We've been all over the world over the last few weeks. So we talk to anybody anywhere because very often we'll do it on Zoom, and it's always great on Zoom and great reception on Zoom. So email the office again, rosemary@rosemaryaltea.com. In the subject line, write consultation or reading or chat or whatever, just so Chris has an indication of what it is you want. Or you can email Chris directly. She's the one, after all, who deals with all this stuff. Chris, Kris, @rosemaryaltea.com. Chris.
Yeah, Sue basically wants to know, she just met a new guy and is he genuine?
Ah, well, if you want a consultation with me, go for it. We'll discuss it, probably at length.
So along the same lines, T. Nix wants to know, is it possible for Gray Eagle to tell me my life purpose?
Yes, and again, we have different types of consultations. So the first is that we connect with someone in the spirit world, and people want to know, are they okay? What are they doing? Of course, they do like help and advice in their own issues as well, and we do that. But there are some people who don't particularly or necessarily know anyone in the spirit world, or they don't necessarily want to connect with someone in the spirit world, but they want what do we call it, Chris? We call it a
Life
life
force.
life force consultation. So if you want to know where you're at or what your purpose is, or if you want to know, is this the right man for me? If you want to know those sort of just the basics of life, or what you should be doing with your life, or how your life should be, you get an opportunity to ask questions of me, and we go from there. So so what was the question, Chris? So we're going to suggest that that's what you do. So you just contact the office, and we'll see And of course, every time I do this, no matter which type of consultation it is, Grey Eagle is by my side, right there by my side. But also, if you want to connect with our webinar on the 8th, you get an opportunity to ask your question. And, we're going to suggest that you ask your questions prior to, if you want to connect with your mother, your father, or if you want to, sort of if you have a particular question that you have, or, you can always try there as well, because we are giving messages from the spirit world. They will be briefer. If you book a consultation with me, I shall be on with you for at least, I say 50 minutes, but I've rarely done a 50-minute consultation. It usually goes over that, sometimes way over that. But if you just want a taste, or if you don't want a full consultation, then we're giving people the opportunity to come to our webinar on the 8th, where you will get messages, or some of you who connect will get messages, and some of you will be given the opportunity to ask questions as to where you want that message to go, or how you want it to go, or what you want it to be about. And we're going to ask you, that all of you who bought tickets, to maybe send in a question, make it the most important one that you can think of, and we shall see what we can do to address those questions with Grey Eagle, because I can't do it. I mean, I know people think, oh, she's amazing, she's wonderful, she's this, she's no, actually, they are. All I do is try to listen and pay attention, and Grey Eagle is the one who guides and steers the whole thing. Keep going, Chris.
Well, Rosemary, it's noon now. I was reminded by somebody this week. Lori said, if you can remind the people who listen to this video or live event, if you can press the like button, if you can press share after you're done, that somehow helps more people understand and find you. So, everybody, if you can, especially if you like on Facebook, hit the like button, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and obviously share. Yeah.
Share. I think if you share, and it's a simple thing to do, because it's a little button, you click on it, it's very simple. If you share, it just goes out to all of your friends on your Facebook pages, and so that's, we have to spread the word, don't we? So what we're trying to do, what Chris is trying to do, is to reach as many people as we can, because obviously this is a subject that we do need to share with people, and this is why we're asking people, if you've had a connection with me or a consultation with me, we'd love to hear from you, because people want to be inspired, people need to be inspired, and people who have already had the experience can inspire you by their own experiences. So please would you like me, and share. Could you share? Okay, Chris.
So Rosemary, as I said, you're after 12 o'clock now. Do you want to do a few more, or what do you want to do?
How are you?
I'm okay.
I'm relying on you.
Okay, let's do a couple more.
I'll keep going.
Okay.
It's
Debbie is saying, my daughter graduated high school last year and is currently taking classes at community college, all online. She is really struggling and doesn't know if college is for her. Should she continue, or should she consider going into the workforce instead?
Oh, as soon as you started talking about your daughter, Greg will put his hand on my shoulder. Tell her to persevere with this, would you? Tell her to just keep going, grit her teeth, and persevere with it, because at the end of this, and I think college is a much better answer for her. And I know people are struggling right now, and people are struggling doing things on their own, and it's tough. But if she keeps going with this, other things will open up for her in a very different way than they will if she doesn't do this college thing. College isn't for everybody, but I think for this young lady, she's got what it takes to be very successful at whatever she chooses to do. So tell her to grit her teeth and keep going, would you? Chris.
Lorna says, I would like to have closure from my brother who took his life a couple of years ago.
Oh, darling. Well, I wish we had more time for this. But again, I'm going to suggest, if you want to know more about having a consultation, because this, it looks like it might be somewhat difficult, but Grey Eagle does tell me to tell you, even as I'm saying this to you, uh, I'm told to tell you he is welcomed into our arms and he is safe. Chris, keep going.
All right. Where did it go? Oh, Joe says, Rosemary, I'm
Hi, Joe.
confused as to the difference between our soul and our spirit. Could you please explain?
Well, I can actually. I know it's a bit confusing, isn't it? Our soul is okay. I'm going to give you a visual here. If you imagine a flower bulb, imagine a daffodil bulb, okay? And that bulb is likened to the soul. This, let's say it's this entity within us. This is who we are. The spirit is the flower, the energy, the beauty that comes from the soul. So the soul is, I'm trying to be quick in this explanation, but the soul is that absolute that we take with us. It is within us. It is our spiritual self. It contains who we are, and our soul is created in so many different ways. Read soul signs, by the way, if you want to know more about this. But the light or the energy or the aura, let's say, of the soul is the spirit. It is the energy that comes from or emanates from the soul. Hope that's clear. And if you need to know more about that, again, read soul signs. And if you want to know where you can find soul signs, email the office, Chris, Kris, at rosemaryaltea.com. Chris, do
Plus,
we have a couple more?
everything's on the website about the books and CDs.
Yes, so go to the website, yes.
Kasenja is asking, is it possible to hear from my mother? What is her occupation and most liked activities in heaven? Thank you and warm regards.
We love these questions, but we are over time. And again, as Sharon did, she wanted to hear from her mother, so she booked in a consultation. Um, you know, you could either try going to our webinar on the 8th of May. If you want to know how to do that, again, go to the website rosemaryaltea.com and book a ticket, because you may well get a message that way. But we don't have time for messages today anymore because we are way over time now. Chris,
All right, so
anything else?
last one. What are your thoughts on tarot reading? Do you think they are an accurate modality for divine guidance?
Um, I think we had this question the other day. I do seem to remember somebody asking this question. Okay, tarot cards, runes, any tool of any kind is only as good as the person who uses it. The tarot can be very accurate, and it also can be very inaccurate. It's like asking me, what do I think of Reiki? Well, if you've been taught by a Reiki master who was taught by a Reiki master who knows for centuries where this ability comes from and how to use it, because these things are ancient arts. Unfortunately, going to any store and buy a pack of tarot cards. You can go anywhere at all. You can go online and buy the runes. If you don't know what you're doing with them, no, they're not going to be accurate at all. They are ancient arts which are used by people who, if they don't know what they're doing, if they truly are not educated within the use of these things, no matter what they are, then it's not going to work. So you've got to look at the person who's using them and how they're using them, rather than the tools themselves. I think that's it, Chris. I think we ended on a good note there. All right. So thank you everybody for joining us. We do love you, we really do. We love having you join us. We shall be back on Saturday morning, same time, same place. We might even do 2 sessions. We might even just pop up as and when we feel like it, and do this all over again, which we did. I think we did 2 sessions last Saturday, didn't we, Chris? We did
We
a
did. It
Saturday
was
morning.
fun.
It was fun. We did a Saturday morning story time, where I tell you a story and then you get to ask your questions, just as we do here. But then we decided, just sort of, we're having these with, I'm calling it off the cuff stuff. I like that, don't you, Chris? Do you like
I
that off the
do.
cuff stuff? So we did an off the cuff stuff on Saturday night. And we were amazed at how many people joined in. We were amazed that just off the cuff, we decided just, oh, it's 8 o'clock or it's 9. Let's have a go. Let's just do this. We had people from all over the world tuning in, saying it's 2 o'clock in the morning here, but we just noticed you were on. So we're doing lots of off the cuff stuff too. So be prepared for us. We will be around doing our off the cuff stuff too. So we should be back definitely on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our story time. In the meantime, everybody, thank you so very much for joining us. I'm thanking Grey Eagle also for being there with us, because we know we can't do this without him. And we also can't do it without Chris. Thank you to Chris. Again, thank you, all of you out there. Please have a very, very blessed rest of the day. Watch out for the off the cuff stuff, or watch out for me popping into your lives from time to time. And please do go to the website rosemaryaltea.com if you want to know any more. How do you get into the office? How do you contact us? It's all there. rosemaryaltea.com. Yes, rosemaryaltea.com. All one. And you can see us there. You can find all sorts of things about that. My daughter actually helped design the website with Chris. They did an amazing job. So go there, find out all the details you need. We shall see you, hopefully we shall see some of you on Saturday morning, but we'll be popping in and out. I'm just warning you, I'm giving you a heads up. It'll flash on your phones, or it'll flash on your iPads, or it'll say Rosemary Altea live, and I'll be woofing here and woofing there. In the meantime, please, all of you, have a very, very blessed and a very wonderful rest of the day.